It's the day of the big game. Who wants to see me bacon wrap my balls? Welcome back to That's Rank, your home for food news and reviews. Today is the big game. So if you're wondering why I'm clad in a Tom Brady 3X New England Patriots jersey, it's because I never got past my heartbreak and this actually used to fit me. But that's neither here nor there. Tom, please come home. We miss you. But today I want to talk to you about a recipe that is bound to make you the MVP of any Super Bowl party that you're attending, and I'm talking about bacon wrapped cheeseburger meatballs. Oh guys, it's getting real in here today. I cannot wait to show this one to you. So what do you say we swing over for the overhead camera and ball some meat? For any meatball, meatloaf, or even hamburger that I grill up, I always like to start with medium ground beef. You need the fat. Fat is flavor, fat is moisture, and the fat actually helps to keep it bound together. If you find that you're needing to add binders like egg or breadcrumbs to your meat, you can actually avoid that simply by using medium ground beef. That fat is sticky enough to hold your balls in place. I chopped up a medium Spanish onion and I kept my pieces just a little bit big. If you prefer a mincer piece, have at it. I just like the bite of a fresh onion in my burger, so I have my pieces just a little bit coarser in size. From there, I've got a little bit of mushroom powder. This stuff is great. It's basically ground up dehydrated mushroom. A little bit of SPG is critical in any good burger. That's salt, pepper, and garlic. In fact, when I make burgers, oftentimes salt and pepper is all I use to season the meat. I don't try to get too fancy with my burgers. And finally, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, just for a little bit of extra flavor. Next, grab about enough meat to make an 1.5 inch size ball, and then in the middle, I'm adding a small piece of sharp New York cheddar cheese. The sharper the better in my opinion. You want to be able to taste it in contrast to the strong flavors being generated by the hamburger meat. Once you're done balling, grab your bacon and cut it in half. Wrap a slice of bacon around every individual meatball until you've covered them all. I am in my backyard paradise. It's minus, I don't know, probably about minus 15 degrees. I do have the smoker all fired up though, sitting around 300 degrees, which is right around where you want it. You don't want it getting a little too hot. You want to give the bacon time to cook and render down while still cooking the meatball all the way through so that you're not left with any raw meat, but you're not burning the bacon either. It's easy to burn the bacon because it is a fatty meat, but 300 degrees, somewhere between the 250 and 300 range is exactly where you want it. So let's get those meatballs on and going. Preferably, if you have an offset plate in the middle, you want as many towards the center as possible, because if they're sitting over any of the empty areas that are breathing, they could burn very easily. You want to make sure that the heat is evenly distributed all throughout. There we go. So they'll be bathing in some black cherry smoke, and we're gonna come back in about an hour's time. Okay guys, it has been about an hour. I did flip them at the half-hour mark to make sure that they were getting the heat well done throughout, and oh my God, take a look at those. The bacon is nice and crispy wrapping around those meatballs. The cheese is oozing out of some of them. That's okay. Now they're almost done. I do want to take one final step for some of them, which is I do want to put some barbecue sauce on some of them for those who enjoy barbecue sauce. Those who don't, I'll leave about half of them unsauced. And then once these are all sauced up, they're just going to need about 10 minutes on the grill to tack up. That's all you want to do, is you just want to get it nice and sticky and shiny on the outside. Doesn't need to be anything more than that. You don't want it to burn. There's a lot of sugar in barbecue sauce. It will burn very quickly if you're not careful with it. So 10 minutes is just about right. I'll finish saucing these up and I'll be back in a few minutes to get them off the grill. All right, there you go. It has been about 10 minutes since I got that sauce on. You can see that these have tacked right up. It's now super sticky. That's exactly where you want it. You just don't want to get it to the point where it is going to start to burn. Now, you might think that these are done, and you can absolutely eat these as an appetizer as is, but I still want to jazz these up just a little bit more. I'm going to get these inside, take you back in the kitchen, and we are going to finish these up. See you in a minute. Before we go ahead and dress these up, let's cut into this one. I think the cheese might have oozed out of this meatball, so I apologize if the show isn't quite as grand as it could be. You may want to use a bit more meat than I did to hold that cheese in. Don't do what I did and lose that ooey gooey goodness. Still, the flavor is great. It tastes a bit like a cross between a hamburger and a meatloaf. The cherry wood was a great choice. Any fruit wood is great on beef, really. So your apple, your peach, whatever, you decide. I would just avoid stuff like mesquite, which is a little bit strong. You save that for your thicker cuts of beef, like a flash-cooked steak or even a thick brisket. Now, this is a cheeseburger, and what's a cheeseburger without toppings? I'm gonna add a slice of pickle and cherry tomato to each skewer and make it a little bit more party-friendly. And you can do this with whatever you want to do. You could add lettuce, you could add onion, you could even add a slice of cheese to the skewer to give it that cheeseburger feel. Just make sure that on the side you include the right dipping sauces, your ketchup, your mustard. However you like to dress up the burgers, you do it. And there you go, smoked barbecue bacon wrapped cheeseburgers with pickles and with tomatoes on top. And you can customize this any way you want. If you don't want to put onions in the mix, you don't have to. If you'd rather put like a slice of cheese on top of it instead of in the middle, go ahead and do it that way. However you enjoy eating your burger, do it that way. You serve it up with some ketchup, some mustard, whatever dipping sauces that you like to have on the side, and you are going to be the MVP of your next Super Bowl party. I hope you've enjoyed this walk through this recipe today. If you'd like to see more, please do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I will do a lot more cooking videos down the line if that is something that you guys want to see. Of course, do not forget to catch me every single weekday morning on blasttheradio.com, where I appear on The Milkman Show between 9 and 1. Of course, thank you as always for liking, commenting, and subscribing. I'm gonna go smash this before halftime, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. I'll catch you on the next one. Ciao for now.